industries. And today we're going to be having another interview. With me is Anushka, who's our co-MD of Girls in Tech South Africa. And we're going to be introducing you to and interviewing Nomfundo Sibara, who is going to introduce herself now. Good afternoon, Nomfundo.
Good afternoon, Claire and Anushka. Thank you for having me. My name is Nomfundo Sibara. I stay in Brackenfell, Cape Town. I'm a senior IT manager for Myson Foundation Cluster Business in Old Mutual. Mother of 3 boys. That's what I'm proud of. That's me in a nutshell.
Fantastic. Well, Nomfundo, I think a big job and a mother of 3 boys. That's a big role to have. So I think, Anushka has told me that you do have a very inspirational story. That you set yourselves on what you wanted to achieve in your career, and now you're leading an IT team of over 125 people, as you said, at a leading financial services industry organization. So maybe you could tell us a bit about your journey around how you actually got into this amazing leadership role.
Oh, okay. So where do I start? From maybe I grew up in Khayelitsha. I did all my high school there. One of the high school in Khayelitsha, Krisani Secondary School. I went to do my degree in UCT, a BSc degree in computer science. Then I joined Old Mutual as part of their graduate program. It was a partnership between Old Mutual and PBT. And we were trained in data warehousing and BI at the time. So I specialized in data warehousing and BI for quite some time. I had so many roles there. I've been a data analyst. I've been whatever role you could think of within the IT developer, BA, because that's who I am. I always try new things. And around 2017, I think Old Mutual, like any other organization, they wanted to build a pipeline of leaders, which is the middle management. And then there was a program called Inside Track. I applied and I got accepted. And then we're in this journey of being leaders within the organization. And that's where it all started. It was supposed to be a year journey to be trained, and you rotate within different units, and then you got the role. I did. And lucky for me, I got the role to manage the team that I was working in for quite some time. It was interesting. It was challenging because some of the, Old Mutual, people at Old Mutual, they don't leave the organization. Some of them, they started like when I was born in the organization, and they're like, how So, and then last year, actually in 2019, then I got an opportunity got this senior role, and I took over my manager's role to be a senior IT management. And yeah, that's where my story is. And that's where we are right now.
Wow, that's excellent. From the humble beginnings in Khayelitsha, living in Brackenfell and leading 125 people today. That's really amazing. Well done on your achievements to date. So Nomfundo, if you had to look back over your career, what advice would you give your teenage self?
Okay, my teenage self, I would say I have always been curious. I'll probably say continue to do that because it really helped me. And look beyond your circumstances. It worked for me because when you look around yourself and you see when you grew up in Khayelitsha, you see that the role models are teachers and doctors. I actually wanted to be a doctor as well. But I kind of decided to take something different because computer science was something that I did not know anything about. But just look beyond yourself and make sure and believe in yourself. I believe that if you have that self-belief, it will take you through. And have the patience with yourself. I think I need to tell my younger self that because I kept on pushing. But now that I'm like, okay, let's say old, I'm kind of like, Nomfundo, you should be patient to yourself and things will happen. But most importantly is keep your word and own up to your mistakes, because trust me, you will make lots of mistakes. And the most important thing is to own up to those mistakes, because it helps you to own up with, especially in our position, because you should be able to say, oh, I made a mistake because I didn't know A, B, C, and D. So starting that from an earlier age, it's going to help you out. That's what I would tell my younger self.
I think that's great advice, because part of learning is failing, and part of learning is learning from your mistakes and admitting your mistakes, and also teaching others that it's okay to learn from making mistakes. And I think something else that stood out for me that you said earlier was about that you're lucky enough to be in your role. Something my father once said to me is you create your own luck. So yes, there's a component of luck, but it's actually hard work, and there's a reason why you got lucky. So well done. So then I guess my next question to you would be then, what in your opinion would be the biggest factor that has led to your success? I think you've given us a good insight into what you tell your younger self, but what do you think that biggest factor is if you look back?
I think I would say, for me, you treat every opportunity like it's never gonna come back. That's what I did in my career, making sure when you get an opportunity, give it your all. And because when I think you need to put your stamp there that Nomfundo has touched that. It always helped me, because there's an opportunity given to me, push it, and always measure yourself, because I've changed different roles, but I always knew what I wanted, and I was determined to go after I wanted. Even if there are some stumbling blocks, I would try and say, because nothing is impossible. I believe in that. Nothing is impossible. And I think for me, what else has added, because I'm always treating my opportunity as a new opportunity and give it myself, I had mentors. So, it helped to have mentors, because these are the people that are in these areas that, they are kind of speaking for yourself. They kind of saying, if there's an opportunity, they know Nomfundo can do this job. So it's being disciplined enough and know what you want, and kind of apply your energy to what you do, and make sure that you do it with everything that you can. So that's what I did, and always have set up some goals for myself to say, this is what I want to achieve, because I believe success is just not a destination. It changes, it always moves on. So I always look around and reflect and say, oh, this is what I want to achieve before, and then learn from my mistake, like I said before. So that's how I got to this position.
Awesome.
Wow. That's such a wise words, Nomfundo. I mean, definitely mentorship. I said the Rebel Stories was one of the first initiatives Girls in Tech is running, and the other initiative we're running is a mentorship program. We really believe that through mentorship, we can help many young people to achieve what they want to achieve. So mentorship definitely stands out for me, and I love your point about take every opportunity that you get. Definitely something worth considering. Some of us may shy away from opportunities when they knock on the door, and we go like, I don't think I'm ready, and then we say no. But it's really, take the bull by the horns, give it your best effort, run with it. If you make a mistake, apologize, but learn from it. And really move onward and upward. I love that message. Nomfundo, if you were approached by a young person today to say, what do I need to study to be where you are today? What advice would you give them?
Okay. Probably, let's say we're talking with someone in high school, we'll start with the basic. I think math is the basic, obviously, subject that you need to take on. And because it grounds you, it's teaching you all those logics. And during our times, you wanted to go to a university and get a programming language degree or whatever. But these days, if there is a technology course that has been offered in your school, take it as early as possible, because it's going to help you out. And also, if you don't have opportunities of going to the university, there are so many. Technology is changing, it's everywhere. So you will find that there's online courses that you need to upskill yourself. And these days, it changes every day. So continuous learning, make sure that you grounded, get the technology course. And if you have an opportunity of going to the university, do take the the curriculum of a BSc degree or in computer science or information systems. But if you don't have those opportunities, there are so many technical courses that you could take as a young child. But you do need to have the basic. I think the mathematics, pure maths, I'm not talking about the maths lit, the pure maths is at the basic.
Absolutely agree. My personal words, but I do agree. I think maths is absolutely important in our industry, and I think it's a base of a lot of technological type of roles. So as you know, Nomfundo Girls in Tech is a global NGO, and we have over 60,000 members. But our South African chapter is very young. We've just started out, but we are very passionate about how we can create a meaningful impact within the South African market. So maybe as a non-Girls in Tech board member, you could tell us what excites you most about the South African chapter for Girls in Tech.
For me, what excites the most is that now we're bringing all these skills, technologies to South Africa. And I hope it's going to reach, this is my hope, that it's going to reach the most rural areas in South Africa, because that's where this is needed the most. And that's why we lack some connectivity. So I'm sure with your partnerships and with everything that you have, you might reach to, I grew up in Eastern Cape. I was born in the Eastern Cape. I know somewhere in the Eastern Cape, there are areas where probably in a school, there is no at a single computer. So bringing the girls in tech into those areas will be a huge benefit for South Africa. And I'm excited about that. And like talking to me right now, I'm kind of saying I'm the product of, I grew up in Eastern Cape, I grew up in Khayelitsha, and now I'm talking about technology. And then when myself, I'm bringing those skill sets to those people and they see someone look like them, it's going to inspire them. And having girls in technology, it's such an amazing thing. And I like the fact that your girl chapter is not only looking at the girls, we're saying now, even if the boy child, because I'm thinking in rural areas, even the boy child doesn't have the opportunity. So I hope it's going to reach those people.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nomfundo. We're certainly hoping to make that big impact.
And that is really nice and visionary and aspirational for us as well. It's definitely going to direct some of our activities as Girls in Tech. So thanks for sharing that with us. We have one more question for you today. So COVID-19 has stirred things up a little bit this year. And we don't know how much longer things will stay in level 2 lockdown or the way it is. But what are some of the challenges and opportunities that COVID-19 has presented to you and your teams?
So COVID took us all by surprise. And I think the challenges was to try, and this working from home was new to us at Old Mutual. We were always working in the office, and within the Mason Foundation cluster, you support the low income segment. So the advisors need to go to the work sites to sell their policies. So the new change, it was just a huge change, and it happened. Remember now, it just happened, and then we needed to react. And what we need, some of the challenges, it was the fears that the people had because everyone was scared, and the fears were justified, and they were like, people needed to be scared, but you kind of saying, yes, we are scared, but now what next? And the opportunities for that, because we needed to accelerate our digital agenda. I think that's what we did in our company. We just accelerated the digital agenda, the remote working from home and the remote sales. So for me, it created so many opportunities that we did not think that they were there before. Obviously, maybe they were there, but we took longer to get into those strategies, but it just accelerated those in Old Mutual. I tell you right now, all the advisors can sell and sitting there at home, they can do the remote sales. It's like, in the past, we never thought that the advisor could do that. And so that's what it did, and it changed our way of working. It just disrupted the entire way of working. For me, as much as scary it is, as it was, but the opportunities are endless now. There is nothing stopping us from achieving those opportunities. On a personal front, obviously it changed my life because I had a challenging role, and now a mother of 3, you have to teach your children. I'm not a teacher. I've realized with this COVID, I've realized that's not my calling, but you had to kind of do those things because you needed to keep those things. So it's kind of show us to not have life balance, because you can never balance, but at least you could spend time with the children and actually understand. And sitting with my children and my 10-year-old, the oldest, is like, I've realized my son has grown. He can get things done. So that COVID has afforded me that opportunity to understand this child and how he interprets things, because now you have to be the teacher and help them out. So those are the things that I would probably take out on the COVID-19.
I hear you. I was not called to be a teacher either. But I hear you, because I also think it also taught me a lot about my daughter, teaching her. You get to understand them a little bit better, how they think, what they're going through, what they're learning about even. So I agree with you on that front. It's not my first calling, but I'm almost glad it happened from that perspective. So I hear you. Great.
Absolutely. I think we've grown closer to our families. We've grown further from the physical workplace, but definitely we're speeding up those digital journeys. And I think for that reason, Girls in Tech has a big role to play in inspiring our youngsters to take up careers in tech and really drive this digital agenda forward. So thanks so much for sharing your story with us, Nomfundo. It's really been a pleasure speaking to you today. And I hope that we have more opportunities for you to inspire our members of Girls in Tech. All the best.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nomfundo. It was awesome chatting with you.
Thank you.